Good evening, everyone. Today is Monday, November 28th. We will be starting our board business meeting. Um, First, we would like to do is we would like to salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mr. Cuff, could we get roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Wright,
Here.
Mr. Tong,
Pleasant.
Ms. Richmond,
Here.
Ms. Ivory,
I'm on mute.
Present.
Ms. Hoff,
Present.
Ms. Cook Henry,
Present.
Mr. Callahan,
Here.
Ms. Hopkins,
Present.
Ms. Boykins,
Present.
and we also have Mr. Vandy, which I do not see.
He just,
Oh,
He's in the hallway. Mr. Vandy's in the hallway.
okay, no problem. Mr. Van Gora,
Present.
Ms. Wise.
She's on there.
I see her. And Ms. Askew Green. I see her walking.
You see her?
I do not.
Yeah, she's not.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cuff. Comments with regard from the board president. I always like to leave a quote, but I just want to give you something to think about. Commonality is what brings people together. If you can find some type of commonality, it will always break differences. And I have to state that because in the work that I do, I'm always trying to be a negotiator and always bringing people together. And I want to tell everybody that if you can find a commonality with somebody, you'll notice that sometimes it'll bring you closer to someone. You may dislike someone, but you know what? If you find that commonality, it could even be both of your kids went to school together. Maybe your grandpa was in the Marines like somebody else's grandpa. But what I will tell you is that always try to find a commonality when dealing with people. So that was my little tidbit for today. And next we will go to Dr. B. Coates for our superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I do have some updates, and I will be sharing my screen in a moment. And I also wanted to share that I believe as this is still the month of November, we have lots to be thankful for. And so tonight, I will be highlighting a lot of things that we are thankful and grateful for as we think about the William Penn School District. So first, we'll start off with celebrating some successes. We have some special thanks, student highlights, as well as some announcements. So when we think about our successes, we have lots of them. I do want to say congratulations to these two students. They have been recognized as the Rotary Club of Upper Darby and Lansdowne Student of the Month, and that's Fanta Conti and Beatrice De Sequeira. I want to say congratulations to both of those students. Very, very proud of your accomplishments. Next, we have three students that we are highlighting tonight. These students have won various prizes. So we have a student from Walnut Street Elementary, Jordan Gray, who won the first place in the Octrolli Fest Art Contest. And so we want to say congratulations to Jordan. And then for the second and third place winners, both of these students are from Bell Avenue. We have Matange Cromer, second place, and Amira Rogers, third place from Bell Avenue. So congratulations to these students for exhibiting their artistic ability. We have a seventh grade student, I believe, from Penwood Middle School, Jack Shutley. We want to say congratulations to you for winning the Veterans Day Essay Contest, which was sponsored by the Delaware County Intermediate Unit as well as the U.S. Veterans Legacy Project. So congratulations to Jack, and thank you to Ms. Lateef as well as to the Principal Denenza. Congratulations to you, Jack. We also have a special highlight. I was really pleased about this. We have various students to go to Arcadia University this month. And several of our students, 36 of them to be exact, actually received 4-year renewable scholarships totaling almost $1 million. So that's a lot to be thankful for, right? And I do want to thank our counselor for supporting these students and providing them with this opportunity. So not only do we have students in our district who are smart from an academic standpoint, we also have students who excel not only in academics but in the arts as well. So I definitely want to highlight the Penwood High School Band under the direction of Mr. Robert Cherry. These students and this band have been recognized in various categories, and you will see the categories listed here. So at 4 different times, they either won first or second place during the competition season, and during the actual last championship, or the championship, they won fifth place, out of 15 bands. So that is phenomenal. So thank you, Mr. Cherry, and thank you to our students for your work and for what you have done. We also want to say special thanks. This past November the 16th, we did celebrate our National Education Support Professionals by, I actually attended their union luncheon, and so we had conversations and discussions. It was a great time seeing all of these individuals, so thank you for your support of our district. Also want to pay a public thank you to our Pennsylvania Democratic Senate and House of Representatives, the Governor's Office, as well as the Delaware County Council and the Delaware County Commerce Center for assisting the William Penn School District in receiving $7 million in RCAP funding to help us with our long-range school facilities master plan.
Excuse me.
And we have my favorite time of the year when we can highlight and recognize some of our students. So most of you know, each school highlights a student of the month, and these are our students for the first quarter. So this is how we have recognized students. And so from Alden Elementary, we have Salvatore Ferrali. Congratulations, you see what he is, or what he does and how he excels in school. If we want to wait until the end, we can do our applause at the end because I will be recognizing a student from each of our schools. Ardmore Avenue Elementary, we have Talea Johnson, who's a 6th grade student. You can see what she does, excellent in a lot of different areas. We also have Bell Avenue. We have Etta Zake, who is a 3rd grade student, does great things at Bell Avenue. We have Cowan Elementary School. Damalir Sampson, who is a 6th grade student, works well in collaborating and doing other things in the school. We also have East Lansdowne, Ahmed Hamza. And you can see what Ahmed is great in at East Lansdowne Elementary School. We have Evans Elementary School, and they have identified 2 students, Joshua Waters and Samara Samexent, who are 6th grade students, and you can see some of the things that they excel in at Evans Elementary School. We next have Park Lane, and we have Bangale Sumaro, who is a 2nd grade student. He thrives in various things. He is very responsible and respectful. Walnut Street Elementary, we have Grace Banthal, who is a 6th grade student. She has lots of areas that she excels in, academics as well as leadership. Penwood Middle School, we have Alexander Shepard, who is a 7th grade student, outstanding work ethic, and also does other things there as well. We also have at the Penwood 9th Grade Academy, we have Samuel Obana, who is a 9th grade student who has done great things or is doing great things. And you'll see he's been nominated 3 times for the Patriot of the Month. So congratulations to you, Samuel. We have Naomi Larty, who is a 12th grader at Penwood High School, Green Avenue campus. She's a National Merit Scholarship Program semifinalist. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So again, we have some outstanding students in our school district. And then we also have a student in the personalized learning community, Angelina Carter. So let's give a round of applause to all of these students for the great things that they are doing. Congratulations, young people. Now, for our community announcements, I do want to encourage all of the men in our community, if you are interested in partnering with our school district, we are having a Men on Mission meeting tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. The information is right here for your information. We are encouraging new members or new individuals to come out, as well as our returning participants as well. So we want to support our high school, specifically Penwood High School, Green Avenue campus. That's where our focus will be for this coming year. Next, just want to send out a reminder. We do have a Keep Them Warm coat giveaway going on this Saturday, December the 3rd from 10 to 2 at Park Lane Elementary School. This is located in Darby. They are continuing to collect coats or other winter supplies, hats, scarves, etc. You can drop them off at the school by December the 1st. So we hope you're able to drop by and support our young people, and this is open to our community. And lastly, we have next to last, want to remind everyone we're doing a second FAFSA completion night. So if you are a senior, if you have not completed your FAFSA form, this is an opportunity to get assistance and support from our high school. This will be on Tuesday, December the 6th, starting at 6:00 p.m. And lastly, we still have a few seats remaining in our Young Men and Women in Charge. We are continuing to accept applications. This is a program that supports students in grades 3 through 12. There is no expense for families in the William Penn School District. We have removed all barriers for students to participate. So if you're interested, please take a look at this form or contact your principal. They are aware of this opportunity for all students. Madam President, that concludes my presentation for tonight, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Biko. I also want to say thank you to Mr. Keith Curley that helped also with regard to getting the students to Arcadia University. So thank you very much, Mr. Curley, in helping with that as well. And just want to piggyback on the Young Women and Men in Charge. That is a great program that we offer parents. And your child has the opportunity to do career shadowing, which is an awesome thing in any type of science field. So please take advantage of that. So next, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Any? Yes, any questions or comments? None, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
those opposed?
Pause since we have so many on.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the business meeting from October 24th, 2022?
Second.
Second.
And hearing any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the committee meeting of the whole from November 21st, 2022?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
those opposed? Sorry,
That's okay.
I keep forgetting. Thank you. Sorry for my guys that are on Zoom. It's a little delay. All right. So next we'll be moving to the remarks by student representatives, and we'll be starting with Mr. Paul Vandy, our 12th grade representative. Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm good.
Hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
I did. It was very
That's
nice.
good.
Right. So, hello everyone. So, what I wanted to talk about today is I want to speak on strengthening, I guess, the communication between administration, both in like the school buildings and in terms of, like the school board and the students inside the schools. So, I feel that a lot of times, a lot of students don't, when they have like different issues in the schools, right? It ever comes to, you know, we just had like a protest out here like was it last week about like different issues. They don't a lot of students don't exactly know who to come to with those issues, or even if they do know, they feel like they can't, I guess, in some cases openly talk to them, or what their concerns won't really be heard. So I kind of want to see if we can work on making sure students are aware that like, hey, like there's opportunities like right here at the school board meetings. Like we don't oftentimes we don't have any students really out there like coming up to speak. And I don't think I've ever seen really students from like even from like the younger grades like middle school, any middle school students really coming out and speaking. So I want to make sure like students know that there's people they want to talk to maybe their principals, assistant principals, or even like school board members. They want to come to one of our meetings and like listen in or speak. I want to see there's ways of either like maybe putting messages on the school website like, hey, any students want to speak on different issues, you can come to school board meetings, or making them aware that hey, these are your school board like these are people on your school board. Here's what they do with the different areas that they touch on, or like if we have student representatives who also can talk to, just like different ways so that students know that like your concerns can't be heard, and it doesn't always have to come to like protests like we had before. Like, if students do feel like that's what they need to do to express their concerns, then of course they have the right to do so. But I feel like that shouldn't always have to be like the resort. There's other ways that we can communicate with people across the buildings, I guess.
Yes, I appreciate you saying that. I actually was there during the protest. And what I did was I tried my best to communicate with everyone. First and foremost, I want to say that you're absolutely right. We have to have modes of communication where students know that they can come here and talk, right? So there's a few things we have to work with. Student reps, we're expecting our student reps to communicate as well, to talk to other students, to let them know, hey, you can come to our board meeting. I want students to know that they are stakeholders. You are a stakeholder in this district. So when you come here and you sit in a meeting, you have the ability to speak because you are a stakeholder. With that being said, we like to also follow chain of command. So whatever school that you are a part of, you should go to that principal to talk to that principal about some of the concerns. Also, you can talk to your student rep, and then you also can come to board meetings. I look for our student reps to try to explain about our Monday meetings to ensure that our students know that we have Monday meetings, the 3rd and the 4th of every month. Also, we do place our meetings on our website, where we can, if you have suggestions for us with regard as the board reps, other ways that we can communicate, hey, our meetings are this date, not just our website. We're more than welcome to hear those ideas. But we want students to know, when I was out there during the day of the protest, I said those exact words. I said, I have not had any student come during a meeting and say anything about clear backpacks or Mathia, because those were the two concerns that was stated in the auditorium that day, was having clear backpacks. Dr. B. Coates was there as well. He wrote down all of the students' concerns. There were about 14 young ladies that had some things to say about the clear backpacks. He wrote down everything that they said, and we had dialogue. We spoke, and I don't ever want it to be that students don't feel comfortable, where they don't feel like they can't come and talk to us. So if you have ideas of how we can make the meeting, advertise it better to our students, we're more than willing to hear that as well. So if you bring some suggestions, what we can do, and we definitely can work on that. But I appreciate that. I think that it allowed me to see that there was not a clear communication with regard to our students knowing that they can be a part of board meetings, our students knowing that they can speak up in board meetings. I don't think everyone was aware of that.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, so send those suggestions, any suggestions that you may have.
I will. Yes.
Did I answer that well for you, to have a clear understanding, or is it something you want to add?
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, the only thing I'll say is like, I do try, and I know that other student board reps do try to like tell students like, hey, you can talk to us or come to the board meetings. Mm-hmm. But again, we only can reach so far to people in our classes, people who reach in the halls. We can't talk to every single person inside of our schools. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was just trying to encourage like also other forums so we can reach more students and make sure like everyone is aware of this fact, not only the people that we can directly talk to, I guess.
Okay, maybe an announcement over the loudspeaker. Would that help? Just any suggestions, please send them to me or send them to Dr. B. Yes.
I was going to add on to what you kind of said. I remember Ms. Brown had kind of told us how we could kind of like add ourselves to the website, the school website, so students know who to come to and where like kind of like address what they have to say.
Yeah.
That was something we could have had did in the beginning of the school year so students know who we are, because I don't think everyone knows.
We still can do that. I don't think, would that be hard to do, Jeff, adding them to the website, our student reps?
Shouldn't be difficult at all.
Yeah. Okay. So, if we can just follow up on that, we're adding our student reps to the website, so student reps, people know. Any other suggestion from board members as well?
Do you guys get digital announcements also, like through Google Classroom?
Yes.
So maybe we can have our meetings put on Google Classroom,
Okay.
integrated in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Just
it
for-
still relies on somebody looking, but,
yeah.
you know,
I do know Ms. Felder, or at least for the 12th graders, Ms. Felder, our counselor, she does have like a big Google Classroom with like pretty much everyone in the 12th grade in there. So like we could probably talk to her and say like maybe mention it, like putting it in there, saying that like, there's board meetings if students want to come out and talk to them. Because I feel like most students usually check that just in case like she puts different things like scholarships, trips, like the college trip that was there that we just talked about. So I feel like we put something like in that Google Classroom at least for the 12th grade, and then we also maybe do it for the other for other grades too, the same similar kind of idea. I feel like most students will probably be able to look at that.
Okay. Mr. Wright, you had your hand up?
Yes, I'd like to know, do we have either monthlies or bi-monthlies assembly programs?
Oh, yes, we
That could
do.
They're saying yes. The
Yes.
students are saying
We
yes.
do.
All right. Can you let us know when you have it?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Hearing no more, any more with regard to that topic?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. I'll make sure I follow up on and figure out if it's gotten to the Google Classrooms or how we're handling it. So next meeting we have, make sure you ask again just to follow up.
Okay.
are we looking into Matthew and the book bag situation?
Yes, we are.
I just want you to know, we heard, I guess I should say that we did hear what everybody's concern was. Majority of the people that spoke out for the protest, and I just want to say, we're not against anyone positively and peacefully protesting. But also you do have the right to come and speak to a speak at a board meeting, and you have the right to talk to your principals too. We really like to follow chain of command. We do like for you to talk to your principals, but if you feel like, hey, I don't think you don't see any movement, yeah, come to the board meeting and let's talk about it, okay? Thank you, Mr. Vandy. Next, Mr. Van Gora.
I was kind of already going to piggyback on what he kind of said. We had a meeting today in Miss Dr. Lee's office, and I had kind of brought up a suggestion about us, like as a school, having like a little suggestion box or like a student form suggestion area where like they can kind of like send fill out the form, say what you want to say who you want to like regard it to, and they can kind of like say what they have to say instead of like all this, like to basically better our communication, because I feel like not everyone knows that they have all these sources around them and they can really use it. So I was going to
So a student suggestion box, yes, that could be at the center hall when you walk in and
or form.
fill it out and put it in the box, and then Dr. Lee will review it, or the principal responsible for that building will review it. That's a great idea.
And then I was also going to add on the little experience I went to with Ms. Hoff at the student forum at DCIU. We got to meet with different kids from different schools in our district, and we kind of all, it was a good experience. We kind of all talked about our own little, I remember you said before a meeting, you talked about, what was the word? Commonality. We all like kind of shared a little bit of commonality because we all experienced different things at our school, but we also had comparisons with each other. So it was kind of nice to see that we all had the same kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, I love to hear that, because that's what board of directors do. We get the opportunity to meet with other board of directors that's from different districts, and you be like, do you go through that? And I'm like, yeah, man, but ours is a little different. Like, everybody has the same problems, but it's just a little twist to it, you know? So I'm glad you had that experience. I hope you continue to take part in stuff like that, for sure. Any other feedback from that?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Next, we're going to go to Miss Wise.
Hello,
Right?
everyone.
Miss Jayla Wise. Hi, Miss Wise. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great.
So I will
Any
say,
feedback?
Paul pretty much said everything that I was going to bring up. It was mainly about the protest was mainly about like the book bags and all that, and like the issue as to why they're not allowed to carry it around. And he pretty much cleared it all up. So I have nothing much to say about it, really.
Okay. Thank you very much for commenting on that. We definitely appreciate it. We know the book bag situation is a really big thing. We do, and we're willing to talk. We're willing to talk and try to figure out the best ways. So thank you, Ms. Wise.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Ms. Morgan Askew Green.
Yeah, the only big concern we had so far was just, again, with like remediation for the Keystones and all that stuff. Because we understood that you can go to Help With Club, but a lot of my classmates that did take the Keystone are not able to go to Help With Club at the school because they have a lot of after-school activities that kind of interfere with
Can you say that, you said they're not able to go to where?
To the Help With Club for, I guess, like remediation. For
Oh, Help With Club,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because that was the, I guess, like, the solution to like remediation for Keystones. Because anyone who takes geometry is not able to get the remediation they need if they didn't pass the Keystones the year before. But a lot of my students, not my students, my peers in class are not able to go to Help With Club because they have a lot of after-school activities like theater that are like, that kind of interferes with that time.
Okay, so
we
last
didn't know.
meeting you brought up the remediation for Keystones.
Yeah.
Because you were saying that there were students that they were bringing their results to teachers and they had concerns about their scores and things. They wanted to get help on it. So the follow-up to that is that they have the Help With Club that can work with you on the remediation for the Keystone. But you're saying is students aren't available for the Help With Club because they have after-school activities.
Yeah, at least the kids that did take the Keystone that didn't pass, a lot of them being honors are in a lot of like extracurriculars after school that interfere with that time.
Okay.
And I guess our teacher just isn't able to like remediate us. I guess he was told he couldn't remediate us, so we don't really know what to do with that.
So
it's
right
kinda
now you're in limbo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to get clarification. So are you also saying that no one has followed up with you since our last meeting?
Yeah, the only follow-up I got was when we got our grades back and we saw like Algebra 1 and like the different levels. A lot of them got like not remediation, but they were able to take Algebra 1. But they said anyone who takes geometry cannot get remediation in Algebra 1, and you have to just go to Help With Club. But that a lot of kids don't have opportunity to do that if they're already in Geometry 1.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that information.
Okay, so Dr. Biko is going to look into that. Please bring that back up next meeting because we want to make sure that we get this rectified, okay? Thank you for that. Were there any other? Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to ask another question. Have any, at the Green Avenue campus, have any of you received a communication about next steps after, in reference to the book bags, et cetera?
I haven't.
I'm sorry?
I haven't. But
You
I
said
asked.
you have or have
I
not?
haven't.
Have not,
But I
okay.
asked, we did ask Dr. Lee today, and I did ask if we were gonna have an assembly, because I was assuming we was going to assembly after all of that, but no, I don't think, she said they were working on it though.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, student reps. You work very hard at what you do, and this is what it's about. It's about communicating, and let's talk about it and try to figure out what's the best that we can work together. All right, so thank you for that. We've taken everything in consideration, and we will follow up with you. All right, next we're going to go to special awards.
Yes, and I think I'm handling this one.
Yes.
And so I first want to start off by saying this is information that we received from the Pennsylvania State Board Association. So it brings me great honor and pleasure tonight to present to our board president a certificate of appreciation from the Pennsylvania School Boards Association. It's actually being presented to Ms. Monique Boykins, who is our board president. Ms. Boykins has reached 8 years of school board service in the William Penn School District. PSBA Honor Roll of School Board Service recognizes school board members for service and dedication to their local districts and communities. School board directors receive an honor roll certificate when they reach 8 years of service and again for every 4 years thereafter. The PSBA Honor Roll is the association's way of thanking those individuals who exemplify leadership by giving unselfishly of their time and talents for the betterment of the public schools serving students across the Commonwealth. So, Board President Monique Boykins, it gives me great honor and pleasure to present to you your certificate.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate this, and I just have to say, this means a lot to me because we put a lot of time every day in what we do. Like, I don't think everybody sees the work that we do every day, but when I'm telling you, like, we're taking the time out to go into our community and talk. We're taking the time out to get to know that neighbor that nobody wants to talk to. And I just appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and I just want to inspire and encourage other people that may not be board members, even the ones that are board members, to stick with it, you know, to stick with what we do, because everything we do, I know sometimes people want to be recognized, but, you know, God's work is not always something that is broadcasted. So just continue to do what we do. Thank you. Next, we'll go to public comments on agenda items. Public comments on agenda items. Is there anybody in the public, don't see any? All right, so we're going to move right along, and we're going to go to communications. Mr. Cuff, any communications?
No.
No communications, so we're going to go right on to our committee reports. Our committee report, the first one is community relations. It's going to be read by our chair, Ms. Luella Richardson.
Good evening. Community Relations Committee reports. I think Dr. Vito covered most of what's in the Community Relations report.
That's true.
But I'll just mention a few. What was it? So mixed up here. A1 is Penwood Middle School Student Wins Veterans Day essay contest. And that was won by Jack Shutley. He was the first place winner. And in 2022 Veterans Day essay contest. And the purpose of this contest was to encourage students to learn about the United States war veterans and how veterans help preserve our freedom. So congratulations to Jack. A2 Young Men and Women in Charge program accepting application. Young Men and Women in Charge offers program for students in grade 3 through 12. The activities and workshops are designed to increase students' appreciation for STEM and offer scholar groups that provide grade appropriate opportunities. The program is free for Williams Penn School District students, and applications for new scholars are being accepted. A3, the Trawler Fest 2022 art contest for 5th grade students. The William Penn School District's 5th grade students won 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place for prizes for their trolley drawings submitted. Jordan Gray of Walnut Street Elementary won the 1st prize. Matega Croma and Amira Rogers of Bell Avenue won the 2nd place and 3rd places respectively. Amir Lane of Walnut Street and Sincere McNeil, Howard Condell, Bell Avenue received honorable mentions. Also, Miss Melissa Womack, art teacher at Bell Avenue and Walnut Street School, submitted the interest. A4, Lansdowne Upper Darby Rotary Club, November Students of the Month. The club recognizes high school seniors from Penwood, Archbishop Pendergrass, and Monsignor Bonner and Upper Darby schools in the Student of the Month program. At Penwood High School, this is the first name, Beatrice and Fanta Conde were selected as Students of the Month for November 22. Patrice is an exchange student from Brazil who received a full scholarship to study abroad for her senior year. She's involved in a lot of activities, too numerous to mention here, but she has involvement in community and school activities. Patrice plans to study community science at Drexel or Rider University in pursuit of a career as a software developer. Fonte is a member of Penwood Senior Class Committee. She plans to major in political science, international relations, and minor in philosophy in pursuit of a career as a lawyer, politician, or a role in foreign administration government. A5, Franklin Men Credit Union Foundation, seeking nominations for excellency and teaching awards and scholarship applicants. The Franklin Credit Union Foundation is seeking nominations for excellency and teaching awards and accepting applications from college-bound high school seniors to receive a $3,000 John Hennigan Scholarship. And the information, you can go on the website at fmscufoundation.org/awards to get information about the Franklin Men Credit Union and Foundation. A6, Tex Girls Workshop. Tex Girls Workshop is a program whose purpose is to inspire middle school age girls to explore future careers in technology. And all the workshops are done virtually, December the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 12th. And December the 17th workshop is done in person. So the subjects would be 3D printing, slicing and design using CAD, cartoons from scratch, exploring command databases, artificial intelligence, how computers learn, internet safety, how to stay safe online, designing mobile apps. And the in-person workshop was about robotics programming with Dex robots. That concludes community relations.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. There's no motions on this, so any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? Hearing none, seeing none. All right. We're going to go to our Education Committee report, read by Ms. Valerie Cook Henry, our chair.
Good evening, everyone. B1, for release and settlement agreements. There is a motion to approve the terms of the release and settlement agreement negotiated between the William Penn School District and the parents of students 11, 28, 20, 27, 38, 22, 11, 28, 20, 27, 43, 22, and 11, 28, 20, 34, 74, 22. B2, an addendum to release and settlement agreement, and there is a motion to approve the terms of the addendum to the release and settlement agreement negotiated between the William Penn School District and the parent of student 1128, 20, 43, 40, 22. And B3, expulsion waiver agreements. And the motion is to approve the terms of the expulsion waiver agreements negotiated between the William Penn School District and the parents, guardians of students, and their 11, 28, 20, 05, 74, 22, student 11, 28, 14, 83, 65, 22, student 11, 28, 20, 63, 39, 22, student 11, 28, 20, 18, 15, 22, and student 11, 28, 20, 63, 39, 22.
There are motions, so can I get a second?
Well, we have a second for you.
Yeah, second, okay. Any questions or comments at this time? Just wanted to, I do have a question. Once a student is expelled, right, they're not allowed back on our premises for that whole year?
That
I
is
just wanted to
correct.
get a confirmation.
Hi.
Yeah, they're not.
Can you hear me?
Again. I can hear you now. Say that one part again you said.
Okay. It depends on the infraction. But for our more severe infractions, the conditions of the expulsion for the time period is that they cannot return to the building. But in some cases, in collaboration with school leadership, they can participate in after-school programs or closing exercises, things like that. Those are part of the discussion when we have our hearings.
Okay, thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
those against?
You already said
Oh,
aye.
yeah. All right, hearing none, we're gonna move on to our, Personnel Committee, read by our chairperson, Ms. Wadia Ivory.
Good evening. I'll start off, okay, C1, retirements. We have Kathleen Gamble, the Benefits and Analyst Leave Coordinator in the Administration Building, who has been with the district since 4/14/20, I'm sorry, effective date, 4/14/2023. She has been with the district since August 20th, 2001. B, professional staff, Hope D. Gregorio, English language development teacher at Ardmore Avenue Elementary School, who's been with the district since August 30th, 2005. And Catherine Maloney, science teacher at Penwood High School in 9th grade academy. She's been with the district since August 29th, 2001. We would like to thank all three employees for their years of service, and we wish them well in their future endeavors. C2, resignations. C3, appointments, and I'll just read through the names. Nicholas Brow, speech language pathologist, long-term sub. Aaron D. DeBrose, occupational therapist. Veronica Scott, learning support, long-term substitute teacher. Megan Shake, certified school nurse. Kareem Jackson, instructional assistant. Paulette Kendrick Gray, instructional assistant. Sean Lassiter, instructional assistant. Dorian Moore Smith, staff nurse. Aisha Ty Knoll, instructional assistant. And we would like to welcome them to the Winton School District. C4, changes in assignment. C5, leaves of absence. C6, mentors. C7, miscellaneous appointments. C8, tenure awards. C9, salary track changes. Not up, oh, I'm sorry, that's disregard C9. C10, miscellaneous personnel items. C11, modifications to previously approved items. And C12, additions to the agenda. And that concludes my report.
So for the,
Well, wait, should, can I get a second first?
oh, thank you. Second, okay. So I am going to remove myself from this vote, but I do have a question before I remove myself. So C9B, under fall sports contracts, and then we have C9D. Hold on, let me make sure I'm.
It's
So,
empty.
thank you. Okay, so my question is about, thank you. So C9B,
C10.
well,
C9 is a non,
Okay.
C10 is.
Jen just corrected me too, I said it wrong again. C10B, we have a fall sports supplemental contract. And then we have, where is it,
C10,
no, it's C10I,
C11.
C11I. We have the rescinded of the supplemental assignment. So how I'm reading this, and I just want some clarification. How I'm reading this is that we had a fall coach that wasn't a fall coach, and then somebody stepped in for that person to be a fall coach, and now that person has to be paid. So we're voting on it today.
That is correct. What typically happens, or what we've tried to put into place, is a revised process for supplementals, all supplementals, regardless of if it's athletic, educational, etc. So in May or June of this year, we tried to ask principals, or told them we would be going through this process. So we wanted to publish all of the supplementals that we knew would be into place, be in place in September. So obviously, things happen over the summer, so you have changes that occur. So if supplementals aren't filled during the May-June time period, we would put them back in place in September, keeping in mind that you always have to identify somebody for the role. Sometimes it happens in September, sometimes it doesn't. So that's why you see two of them here, and so your summary is correct, but I just wanted to explain the process and how sometimes things fall outside of that process because we may not have identified somebody by the time of the board meeting. Keeping in mind that we prepare this report at least a week before, a week and a half before, and we do have dates and times in which all of us operate in order to get this report ready.
Okay. I have one more question.
Well, for me, C10B should have gone under C11 modifications, right? So we
To
could
previously approved.
So, and it wasn't previously approved, but it's a modification. It would just.
C10B wasn't previously approved.
Correct, so, but it's a modification, like, we would expect to approve paying someone for what they did in September, October.
Gotcha.
August, September, and October. So it's sort of, like, it doesn't really fit. So it could go under modifications, it could go under lates, it could go under.
But my question is too, did we pay that, the rescinded supplement assignment, did we pay that and we're getting it back and then now we pay her, the other person?
I see what you're saying.
That's
So
what I'm
we
trying
paid
to.
2 people.
Right, we would not pay two people.
Okay. All right. Got you.
And if somebody did some work and it stopped,
Yeah.
then the supplemental stops.
Okay. All right.
Where you prorated, which we've done.
Correct, yes.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions or concerns? All right. So how do you want me to handle?
You're abstaining?
Yes.
Well, you still call the vote,
Okay.
and then we'll
Just
just
wanna
know
make-
your abstention.
The entire personnel agenda?
It's fine.
Just that motion. That's what I'm saying.
No, just.
All right.
You can abstain from the whole thing. It
All right,
doesn't-
I'll abstain
you'll-
from the
you'll be
whole
all right.
thing.
I mean,
Okay.
It's gonna
I
pass.
just want to do the right
so.
thing. Okay. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those? Oh, thank you, thank you. All those against? Okay, hearing none. All right. Now, we're going to move forward to the Personnel Committee, no, not the Personnel, sorry, Property Committee agenda. Read by Mr. Tong, our chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much. D1, additional classrooms at elementary schools. Based on a recent demographic study and live birth report, the administration recommends constructing additional classrooms as follows. 4 additional classrooms at East Lansdowne Elementary School, 8 additional classrooms at Bell Avenue Elementary School, 2 additional classrooms at an elementary school in Darby. The motion is to approve the construction of additional classrooms at elementary schools as indicated. D2, cost estimates for construction of additional classrooms at elementary schools. The administration recommends approval for representatives from KCBA Architects to develop cost estimates for the construction of additional classrooms as follows. 4 additional classrooms at East Lansdowne Elementary School, 8 additional classrooms at Bell Avenue Elementary School, 2 additional classrooms at an elementary school in Darby. Motion is to authorize representatives from KCBA Architects to develop cost estimates for the construction of additional classrooms as indicated. That concludes my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Tong.
Second.
All right, any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, so my questions, well, not questions, based off of our meeting that we had with the architects in our last meeting, we were talking about with our property, I felt like it wasn't very clear with regard to, it seems as though that we're working a little bit backwards, and I'm just stating it because from hearing the recommendations that Dr. B. Coates gave, and then hearing also from the architect, it seems to me that he stated that we, even if we made that movement at our elementary schools, it still would not free up the space that we ultimately need. And I struggle with that because it feels to me that we should be focusing on the high school movement and moving things at the high school versus starting off at the elementary. I'm not saying that the elementary does not need to be done. I'm not saying that we do not need classrooms. But what I'm looking at right now is that we're about to put $14 million inside of Kerr. And then that's also going to be our high school, middle, we're going to use movement in our high school. We're going to bring in more people. But with that being said, for the people that says, you know, all your word and focus is about athletics, from the build up of the William Penn School District, there has never been anything done to athletics or for athletics. From the start of the William Penn School District, we can't talk about a track modification. We can't talk about a new gym build, a new gymnasium. There's nothing that has been done on an athletic front. Back to where I'm going. Where am I going with it? I'm not saying that academics has not been worked on. Academics has been worked on. We have changes to our curriculum, drastic changes to our curriculum. We've enhanced and improved a lot with our curriculum in academia. So I'm just explaining this because I want everyone to know where my perspective is coming, where it's coming from. Based off of the recommendation of Dr. B. Coates and also off of the information we received from our architect, I'm going with the fact that we should be working on our high schools and then come back into our elementary schools. That's just where I'm seeing. Yep, I'm speaking just what I had to say.
Thank you, Ms. Boykins. The Montgomery report specifically says that we need elementary classrooms. It does not say that we need high school classrooms. I agree absolutely with building the best high school that we can, but we will be short classrooms, crowded, if we do not build these elementary classrooms according to the Montgomery report, which Dr. B. Coates, had done to answer the question. So I don't think it's an either or situation. It would be a shame if we got to the end of this project not build these classrooms. These are 14 classrooms, 25 students. Down and Ardmore currently, right now. I think we don't have to build them tomorrow, right? We can, do things. This first motion, D1, is a motion to approve the construction. It does not say when. It does not say we're starting tomorrow. It can be like when we get the money. And D2 is simply to get the costs to build the classroom. So one is to approve the construction of, one is to get the costs. For me, not related to Kerr Field and not related to the high school at all. Just a matter of having enough seats to fulfill our elementary school obligation. My comments are related to, it doesn't say when we're going to build. And so my focus is if we don't have to do it now, we can wait until we do know or when we can build. So it is not, my perspective is not to vote for or against classrooms being built. It is not at this time.
Any
So-
other board?
Yeah, I concur with Ms. Hoff. The live birth study, which this board asked for back in the spring, okay, indicated that the classrooms were needed in those 3 schools, or those 2 schools and the school to be named later. Didn't say anything about expanding class size in the high school. In East Lansdowne, there's two classrooms in the basement. So I'm in favor of moving forward as quickly as possible to rectify that. It seems like we keep moving the goalpost now, and that's disappointing to me. The kids that are going to be coming into school a few years from now, they deserve not to be in the basement. Those classrooms deserve to be built, and they deserve to be put on the construction schedule as soon as possible. I know we're talking about funding, and that's always an issue, but when the cost overruns came in at Kerr, we didn't table it, we didn't push it down the field, we didn't say no. We did what we had to do, we stepped up, and we allocated to expand those resources to provide the proper environment for the athletics. Now it's on us to expand that same courtesy to the school buildings and the classrooms within.
Thank you, Mr. Callahan. Mr. Wright?
My concern, one of my favorite athletes is Deion. And Deion always said, why can't we do both? So it shouldn't be either or. My other concern that I have is at Bell we would have 8 classrooms, which I can say could be a plus. But what I'm concerned about with those 8 classrooms, what program is going to augment to make this successful? I figured that the 8 classroom with successful programs, I do have some recommendations. If we have a gifted program, station at Bell, that would be a positive to use those classrooms. If we have a STEM program there, that would be positive. But just to say Bell Avenue is going to have a classroom and we don't know what programs and who's going to come to the school, come to school for what, or we just be utilized once again because of overcrowdedness. That has been the problem that we have been concerned at Bell Avenue. If the schools are overcrowded, they would send the students either from Lansdowne, Albany, Cowan, and Darby to us. So hopefully that Bell will become a neighborhood school. At all these years, I do not see Bell as a neighborhood school. And I think is over time. And to mention what you said about the gym, I'd like for others to walk up to Bell Avenue and just look at our gym and look on the outside, you will see a ticket window. And anybody who, Raptor's still here, you remember back in St. Joe's, we used to play basketball there. There was a ticket window. And here, Bell Avenue, in the 22nd century, 21st century, that we still have a ticket window. That is not a good look for the school. It's not a good look for the parents and the students and the educators that work there and the Winfield School District.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Any other board of directors have a comment before we take votes? Oh, yes, Jen.
I just want to correct a fact. The Montgomery report says that Yaden, in your area, is going to need 8 classrooms. So special program or not, the Montgomery report says you're short 8 classrooms in your geographic area.
I don't think you really understood me. I'm not just concerned about the 8 classrooms. I'm concerned about the program.
I understand that, I'm just making sure.
No, I did say that. I made that very clear. With the 8 classrooms to become a program, not just, Bell Avenue being set up over these years, is overcrowding of the school.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm trying to correct. These classrooms would be for Yaden students, not for anyone else. Sitting here right now, the Montgomery report says that you're short, 200 seats for students,
But
for Yaden citizens.
again, we need programming along with the classroom.
This is gonna be a split vote, right? Do you wanna do a roll call, just so it's cleaner, since we have virtual?
Gotcha. Do we have any board of directors on Zoom that would like to make a comment or state anything? What we're going to do is we're going to do a roll call vote for D1 and D2. That's a comment.
Okay.
All right, hearing none. So, Mr. Cuff, we're going to start with D1.
Okay, D1, this is in order of seniority. Ms. Hoff,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Come back to me.
Ms. Richardson,
Yes.
Mr. Tong,
Yes.
Mr. Callahan,
Yes.
Ms. Ivory,
No.
Ms. Cook Henry,
No.
Mr. Wright,
No.
Ms. Hopkins,
No.
Ms. Boykins,
No.
motion fails. 4-5. So, do we need to do D2, David?
D2 is for the cost, to find out how much it's going to cost, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you can still authorize, the board does still have the option to authorize. I don't know what the point would be if you've already voted not to do it, but you can still ask for the cost.
Well, D1, we voted not to do it because we don't really have a cost associated with it. So if D2 is looking for the cost,
That's fine, the board, so, yes, call the vote on that, yeah.
Ms. Hoff,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
No.
Ms. Richardson,
Yes.
Mr. Tong,
Yes.
Mr. Callahan,
Yes.
Ms. Ivory,
No.
Ms. Cook Henry,
No.
Ms. Hopkins,
No.
Ms. Boykins.
no.
Motion fails as well.
I don't understand why we just don't want the costs to know information, right?
So to elaborate on it, I really would like to sit and talk with the architects, because I had spoke about this at our last property meeting. Our last property meeting, my comment was, why are we not taking the advice of what the architect was saying? He specifically said to us that even if we did make these movements, I understand what the report said, it still would not free us space that we need. And my thing is that why not go?
That's not what he said.
Okay, so you can go back to the YouTube video, because I went back as well to review. But that's what he said. He said that even if we had those classrooms, 8, 4, and 8, that still would not lead us to the opening or availability of space that we need with regard to the high school.
Not related.
Hold on one second. Dr. B. Coates, could you elaborate on the comment with regard to what we talked about with regard to the space at the high school? With the movement.
So can I,
Mm-hmm.
like, as we're moving on, I think the conversation is doable, but the vote has taken place, and for us to continue this
Oh, okay, yes, we can
at
definitely, we can at another
different
time, definitely, thank you. I just wanted to, because I know that during that time, we did talk about this, and I expressed that it wasn't enough room and the architect was there, but, okay,
So I guess we'll take it up at property next time?
we need to,
Yeah, and
Yes.
I would love to hear from Dr. Bikos on the question you asked him also.
okay, all right. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that at the property meeting, thank you. All right, so we're gonna go on to, budget and finance. Read by our chair, Ms. Jen Hall.
Thank you, Ms. Wiggins. E1, treasurer's report, E2, list of bills, E3, 2022-23 proposed budget process calendar, and that is it. The proposed budget calendar is very important. Know that our budget meeting is next Thursday, December 8th. 6:30.
Thank you for that.
Can I get a second?
Yep, can I get a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh.
Aye.
All those against? All right, hearing none. We're gonna go to F, our policy committee, read by our chair, Ms. Joanna Hopkins.
F1, second reading of new amended policies 236.1, and that is threat assessment, 610.1, which is business diversity in the procurement of materials and contracted services, and 805.2, which is school security personnel. The motion is to approve the second reading and adoption of the William Penn School District new and amended policies 2361, 610.1, and 805.2, and enter such reading into the minutes. F2, first reading of amended policies 200 is enrollment in district, 201 is admissions of students, and 218 is student discipline. The recommended action is to approve the first reading of the William Penn School District amended policies 200, 201, and 218, and to enter such reading into the minutes. That ends my report.
Second. Any questions or comments? Yeah, just a quick question, well, comment. So to student reps, just to explain to you, like what she just read under our policy, the policies that we are going to be reviewing is enrollment in district, admissions of students, and student discipline. Those policies, we vote on those. So like, you know how you guys, some people may have an issue with uniform policy. You look for that when it's coming up. And that's when you get to speak on it, or you come to a policy meeting and you get to comment on what the policy may be, or what you disagree with, or things of that nature. So I just wanted to point that out to you, where you have a voice with our policies. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? I was waiting.
I know.
All right, don't hear anything? All right, so then now we're going to go to our solicitor's report.
No report, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Now we're going to go to our Delaware County Community College report.
Okay. This is the follow-up from the time that we met with Delaware County Community College the last last month. Currently, the building community campaign priorities: $5 million for new Southeast campus, $1 million for workforce development, $1 million student access and success, $500,000 diversity, equity, and inclusion. Campaign will focus on supporting 6 high-priority industrial sectors: healthcare, advanced technology, skilled trades, culinary and hospitality, early childhood education, general business. One area that I'm highlighting that's going to take place in Chester Trade Education Project. Year 1 students in basic technologies, technical skills, workplace safety, and that from September 2021 to April 2022, and May 22 to May 23 be carpentry, fundamentals, framing and roofing, exterior finishing, interior finishing, energy efficiency, uniform construction code, computer aid design, and entry-level earnings. Carpenters, anyone that go through the program will receive $19.35 per hour, which would bring $40,240 per year. And the students either receive an industry certification, paid internship, and professional tools. And last, what I would like to add, we're still in the process of selecting successor to Dr. Joy Black, and hopefully by the end of December, we should know who will be our new president. That will conclude my report.
Do you have a lot of candidates?
Probably so.
Thank you for that, Mr. Wright. All right, our Delaware County Intermediate Union, read by Ms. Joanna Hopkins.
Madam President, I did not attend this month's meeting due to attending our own board meeting, so I have no report.
Well, you know what? Could you duplicate yourself?
I'll try next time.
I was joking. I was joking.
I'll try next
All
time.
right, well, that's good. Thank you very much for that. And our next Delaware County Legislative Council, read by Ms. Jen Hall.
Thank you, Ms. Boykins. Our meeting was right after Election Day, so it was quite exciting. I believe the votes aren't all counting, but we're very close to having a majority in the State House, led by our own Miss Joanna McClinton, sorry.
Yes.
Yes, so I think there's a couple of things to be tied up yet. The question is, when we haven't received the schedule when they're coming back to work. There are very few work days in December. And then everyone gets sworn in around January 6th. We'll see what comes up. Right, it's a blank slate. We'll see if any of the more egregious items come back up in January, or if they all disappear because they were election fodder at the time. I do know we are still continuing to work on charter reform efforts. We will see how that goes. There are only 2 school districts in Delaware County that have not signed on to charter reform. That is Marple, Newtown, and Springfield, Delaware County. So we're working on them. Other than that, we continue to meet and we'll know more. It's important to note for me that the House will have 46 new representatives. So out of 203, 46 will be new. So there will be quite a learning curve, right when 25% of your body is brand new. 6 people went from the House to the Senate, which I thought was pretty interesting. So they'll have their own little learning curve, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So it's going to be around 6 more weeks before we really get sort of the flavor of our elected officials at a state level, but hopefully soon. Hopefully it's positive.
And if Matt Bradford winds up as the chair of the Education Committee, I'd be happy to bring him down here to talk to the board if you want.
Sounds good.
Great. That is all. Thank you, Ms. Boyd.
Thank you very much. Just with Joanna will be the first. Will she be the first?
Now, you know I know.
Will she be considered the first female African American for the school?
Yes.
She has to be.
She should be the first, right?
Yeah,
And then,
absolutely. But let's
not speak it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. She's almost there. She's almost there. Okay. All right. I will knock on wood.
It's not counted. I've been advised to be very cautious.
I would like to say a shameless plug. I haven't done it in a long time.
We're recording this.
I'm just very excited because I worked in Joanna McClinton's first campaign. It took place in August, a special election in August. It was in the hot sun. The voter turnout was very, very, very low. But she came out there every day and campaigned in everybody's community. And to for me to see that she's going to be first is very special because she's very special to our family. She pretty much adopted us.
Oh, okay.
And so we just elated. We kept pulling forward, and now we got the extra elected officials that can make this happen. And also, since Rap is here, I'm also proud of his wife. And when I have conversation with her, she said, I would be there to both of us. So this means a lot to many of us.
Awesome,
So thank you. That was my shameless plug.
No, Jen, that was a great, also, Mr. Wright, that was great as well. What you're saying is very useful though. Like, that's some very intense information, knowing that 46 new people coming in, and you're right, it is going to be a learning curve, and you're looking forward to them to hit the ground running, but we got to realize, and then 6 people going to the Senate, that's great because that's a little experience, you know. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Good
All
job,
right.
Jen, good job.
That's important to know. Oh, you said Marple, Newtown, and who else?
Springfield.
Oh, that was the question I had. Do those districts not deal with the charter issue?
Oh, they do.
But are they paying as much as we pay?
They don't pay as much as we pay, because we're in a special class, but they pay, and a lot of it looks like cyber. A lot of it is cyber, which is even worse because they don't get any approval or disapproval, right? We don't locally approve cyber charters, the state approves them.
Okay.
So it is,
I was just saying, maybe they're not spending enough money. I mean, I don't know, like, because we're spending, spending an arm and a leg.
even if that is the case, there are many, like 433 out of 501 districts have signed on to the resolution.
Yeah, I was just wondering why they wouldn't, but I got you.
Some of it is not liking where the resolution's coming from. Some of it is, we're gonna hold out.
Oh, okay.
Some of it is.
I thought it was they just not spending enough.
No, I wish it were that easy.
They okay with spending 10 million every year. Yes. All right, so we're going to go on. Is there any old business, Mr. Cuff? All right, no old business. Any new business? All right. Now, do we have any public comments on non-agenda items? Any? Mom, you have nothing back there. We're happy to see you, though. We're happy to see you. You're our only attendant from the public. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of it. We appreciate it. All right, is there anybody online? You see any hands raised?
I did see a hand, but then it went away, so it may have been a mistake.
All right. All right, no hands raised. We're going to move on.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. Danielle Council.
Oh, Danielle, yes, Danielle Council. This is our councilwoman from Colwyn. Could someone please give her the, there you go. You have the floor, Danielle. Nice to see you. Nice to hear from you.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Hi. I was calling. I wanted to speak on the policy for the requirements for volunteers.
Yes, go ahead. The requirements for volunteers. She wants to speak on the policy for requirement for volunteers. It's a non-agenda related item. Go ahead, Danielle.
Yes, I was really excited to volunteer this year at Colwyn Elementary. I provided mostly all my documents, and then it was brought to my attention that they have this new policy where you have to have a TB. So I did the research on it. I really can speak a lot, but one, I commend the district for taking measures for preventing communicable diseases. However, according to the Department of Health, Public School Code Section 1402A41, Section 2344, where it mandates staff and volunteers who provide direct services to students on behalf of the school to produce their TB test results. They want to define direct services as individuals who provide 10 or more hours per week. So if you was to volunteer and you're not actually providing 10 hours per week, I mean, again, I think it's cool that you feel like, you know, you want to protect the students in the school community. However, it's just really evasive to expect a volunteer to actually go and have to go and get their stuff, get their bodies, you know, poked or choked. Like if you're volunteering your time, you're volunteering your services, to ask someone to have to do a TB test, I just felt that was just an excessive policy. And I just looked at it as a way of saying, thank you, but no thank you. We really don't want you coming in the building. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Okay, hold on. Dr. B. Coates is going to respond to that. Thank you.
Right. So first, Ms. Council, our intent is never to discourage people from volunteering. I know that this conversation did come up previously, and I am going to ask our solicitor to provide some clarity around the law, because I do recall us having this conversation, us being board members and staff. And it has come up again in conversation prior to you bringing it up, Ms. Council. And so, David, hopefully you can shed some light on that, because I think that's where we need to rest, not on our opinions, not based upon what has happened before. We need to make sure that we're following the law. And so that's what I would like to get clarity on, because I know that we did seek your guidance previously about this same subject matter around volunteers. So that, I think, will be helpful for all of us.
So I also think that maybe the law has been tweaked a little, because I don't recall, I remember all the conversations around it, but I don't recall that direct instruction having an hour limitation. So I think that might be new, and because I never saw it.
Because what she just read out was, she said direct services means 10+ hours. But if our volunteers aren't spending 10+ hours, why do they need to have a TB test?
I'll find out.
Yep.
Okay, Ms. Council, we are going to follow up with you at our next board meeting. Hopefully we'll have it before then, but our solicitor is here. He has it, and he has to look into the law to see what we can do. I hope she heard me. Thank you, Ms. Council. Anybody have another question, comment, concern about that? Okay. All right, okay, thank you. So, moving, anything else, and nobody else hands up, right? All right. So, our announcement of our future meetings, our policy committee meeting is on December 1st, which is Thursday, December 1st. Our policy committee meeting is at 6:30. It's via Zoom, so you can go on Zoom. The way that you get that information is on our website. Where am I at? Our property committee meeting, I'm sorry, I skipped something. The reorganization meeting of the board. School board directors, that is going to be held at 6 p.m. on Monday, which is December 5th. Reorganization of the board, everybody, that's when our board, we move things around with regard to committees. Also presidency is up, vice presidency is up. So that's what happens during reorganization, just to let you know. Say it again. All offices, all chair people, we can shake some things up or we stay the same. It's up to everybody on the board. But that will be at 6 o'clock, December 5th. Then we have a property committee meeting on December 7th, which is a Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. That is a very, very important meeting. Clearly, you know, if you heard today, we have some things to talk about with regarding to additional classrooms, and also our future plans for our facility master plan, which direction are we going in? So, property meeting December 7th on Wednesday, 6:30, please be there. We have a budget and finance committee meeting, as Jen spoke about, very important. December 8th, Thursday at 6:30, that's also a Zoom meeting. Then we have our education meeting, that is December 14th, okay, 6:30, which is a Wednesday. Ms. Val spoke about that. We have to make sure that we attend that meeting as well. And then our next business meeting, which will be a voting meeting, is December 19th. Why does it say December 19th, 2022, which is the third Monday due to the winter break. Usually we would have it the 4th, but it's the 3rd. And that's about it for our future meetings. Anything from the Board of Directors, if you want to make any comments about something that's going on in your community that we don't know about, or anything that you've been doing lately in your community, or even working in other communities. If you want to speak on that now, you have the floor. Yep, Ms. Hall?
Thank you.
You've been busy.
Yeah. As Mr. Bangura said, I got to attend the DCIU Student Forum, which is housed under the umbrella of the Coalition for Agency and Student Voice. It is always a pleasure to be with our students, and it is always a pleasure to see them interact and be thoughtful and communicative amongst other students in our county. So thank you for taking the time for going. I went to with Ms. Hopkins, attended virtually. I attended in person the 2022 PSBA Delegate Assembly to vote on the PSBA platform. I will supply everyone with a copy of that, and I was very happy to participate in board training this month.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I don't have anything to add because
I know, it's okay. It's all right.
and it's okay. But I must say, it was a very interesting how they run that meeting and how we do policies as a state. And so that was exciting to me to see state policies and how does it govern local policies. So I was really, really impressed. So, and I was happy to represent us.
Awesome. Well, for Ms. Val and then you, go ahead, Ms. Val.
I just want to share, as we had conversation about our facilities master plan, I will be chairing the committee to raise funds, our capital campaign for the William Penn School District. So I just encourage you to wait for additional information. It is our interest to make sure that we be as creative as possible to increase the funding that we will need to do our facilities 10-year plan. And so I just encourage people to stay tuned for that. And to also just let you know that we've already begun efforts for the prom dress giveaway, so stay tuned for that as well. And I would just add my participation recently with the admin for positions to make sure our district is staffed effectively. And so I just think that those efforts will, in the long run, make sure that our district is doing the things that we need to do to ensure that all of our needs are met for our students and staff.
Thank you. Mr. Wright.
Okay,
You're
thank
up.
you.
Yeah.
Like I say, this month, I wound up doing something I haven't done in a long time, is visit other schools and participate. I was just ecstatic and to participate in Donuts for Dad.
Oh, Donuts for Dads.
Yes.
Oh, who was having that?
It was at Evans Elementary School.
Evans, okay.
It was well attended. And everybody was excited. I got a chance to see old faces I haven't seen in a long time, because a lot of my time been with Bell and also trying to improve on my health and my wife's health. So, but it was great that I got out, so was able to get out. Then there was a march on drugs by Park Lane. And I thought I was in shape. And those children were so excited, and just so excited and just follow the rules because we was behind the fire truck.
Well,
And-
see, you had safety right there.
And I didn't think they were gonna pay attention to me, but they did. I said, when I put my hand up and say stop, they stopped. I said, because I didn't want anybody to get hurt. And we must have walked, matter of fact, it was about 1.5 miles, and those young children were all excited. And I would like to see that replicated. One thing, when we see what one school is doing as well, we need to replicate it. And that's one of the concerns I had with the district. So I like to see that because and everybody wore red and white.
Awesome.
So you would like to, that's why she smiled.
And Colin also did Red Ribbon Walk.
I was about to
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, it was just great to see the children and obviously I saw they appreciate just getting out. It was a very good day. We had a nice day.
Awesome.
And so hopefully, and the staff and everybody who put it together should be commended.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much for sharing, definitely. Briefly, so we had a board retreat that went very well. We all came together. It was my first time as the president to bring us together to break bread and talk about our ideas and talk about having some uncomfortable conversation. And I just appreciate being able to do that and being able to learn more about the board, about one another and how we can work together. I appreciate everybody that did attend. Mr. Bright, you missed some food. We had some good food here. But just to let you know, I appreciate our communication afterwards, and I appreciate the dialogue that we had to learn how we can get better in this. We will be having another board retreat. We have 3 segments of it, so there's another one coming up. Also, I had the opportunity to be here during the protest, the peaceful protest. And, you know, one thing I just want to say this. Was it overwhelming to be at our school during that time? It was, but you know what? I felt right at home. You know, I got right out there in the field. I got there talking to people, talking to the students, trying to calm everybody down, trying to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. One thing I want to say to our students, though, I want us to understand that when we do protest and when we do things sometimes that's out of character, where the police have to get involved, you have to be mindful about where we are. And I say that strongly. There was 7 different boroughs called for little old us. So I want you to be mindful about sometimes when you go out to make a stance on something, you have to be alert and aware of your surroundings. You got to also remember that everybody doesn't know us. So when we have people like Darby Township come down here, they don't know our students. They don't know anything about where we're from. They don't know about, you know, you might say somebody's just playing around. Well, they may not take it as that. A bump to an officer can become a felony. So I was out there educating our students. I was out there trying to advocate with them to get them to understand that this is a good thing, but let's talk. You know, things that you want, you do have to utilize your voice. And I will continue to tell you to the day that, you know, I have breath in my lungs is to utilize your voice. But never forget about your surroundings. Never forget about things that you might mistakenly do that you may think is good for us, but it may not be good for everybody else. So I was down there bumping elbows, and some of you board members, you probably would have been like, what in the world, I'm not getting down there. But we were there, and that's what it's about. Having that, being able to talk to them in heated discussions. You know, it was a group of young ladies that was yelling. And man, if you would have heard the curse words that was coming out of their mouth. But I pulled them aside and I had an intelligent conversation with them, and they were willing to calm down and calm the tone. I didn't meet them with aggression. I met them in a calm tone, and it worked. So I just want to say that was, you know, kind of my week. I was here like 2 days in a row. And I appreciate the administration. I appreciate you guys working with me. You know, some of y'all was just out there staring at me, you know. But I appreciate it because you allowed me to be able to work with you, but you seen where I was coming from, and you seen that I want the best for our students. So I just appreciate having that opportunity. And Dr. Because I appreciate you being out there. But it was a good moment. It was a good moment to be a part of, and to just hear the voice of the students and let them know. I told them about every board member we have. you know, because they need to know, you know, so thank you for that. Ms. Richardson, Ms. Yeah, do you have anything?
No, I don't have a comment.
All right, Ms. Wadia, do you have anything, or Mr. Tong or Bill have anything before we adjourn?
No, I do not at this time.
All right, thank you.
I do not have any at this time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tong, and I'm assuming Bill is on, but he doesn't have anything. All right, thank you very much, everybody, for your time. This meeting's adjourned.